And the prosecution has just announced the results of its probe into the missing 2007 Inter-Korean Summit transcript. The transcript became a political hot potato in the run-up to the presidential election last year when the conservative ruling party accused the liberal president Roh Moo-hyun of conceding the northern limit line, the de facto maritime border in the West Sea, to North Korean leader Kim Jong-il. Now, as was widely expected, prosecutors have concluded that the Roh administration intentionally discarded and misplaced the transcript. We now connect live with our political correspondent Kim Yeon-ji for more. Yeon-ji, what is the latest?
Kang-young, prosecutors just announced that the No administration deleted the first draft of the 2007 Inter-Korean Summit transcript and didn't transfer a copy of the final version to the state archives on President No's orders. With that, prosecutors will indict a few former aides to President No, including Cho Myung-gyun, former Secretary for National Security Affairs, and National Security Advisor Baek Jong-chun, for deleting the first draft of the transcript. However, there is currently no law that provides a penalty for failing to transfer a presidential record to the state archives, so that won't apply here. Last week, President No's chief of staff, Moon Jae-in, told prosecutors that the first draft of the summit transcript was modified on President No's orders, and the edited version was reported to him afterward. Moon added that it was only natural for the No administration to delete the first draft and tag the edited version for transfer. But the prosecution says that the summit transcript, whether a first draft or an edited version, is a presidential record that should have been preserved and transferred to the state archives. As for why the edited version was not transferred to the state archives, Moon said the failure to transfer it was a mistake. The edited version was discovered saved in an electronic data storage system that President No took with him after his term ended, and there is another copy stored at the National Intelligence Service. 3 months have passed since the prosecution concluded the summit minutes were never transferred to the state archives, after having conducted an extensive search for them. Before wrapping up the investigation today, prosecutors summoned and questioned about 20 former aides to the late President No, including lawmaker Moon Jae-in, who was the Democratic Party's presidential candidate last year.
All right, Yeon-ji, and there is another controversy surrounding the summit transcript, which will not be over anytime soon, because a separate investigation into claims that the transcript was leaked and used for political purposes is actually going on.
That is correct, Kang-young. The prosecution has opened a separate investigation into allegations that a few key ruling party figures illegally obtained the transcript, which is a confidential record, and used it against the rival party's candidates in the run-up to the presidential election last December. Kim Moo-sung, a ruling party heavyweight and close aide of President Park Geun-hye, told prosecutors this week that he came across an informal tabloid that circulates in the financial industry containing parts of the summit transcript. Kim said he used the information found in the leaflet last year in a speech in Busan during President Park Geun-hye's election campaign.